It's the 20th of October, 2022. And one of the things you have with houses, of course, is keeping them clean. Siding has to be clean. Everything has to be clean. This patio has had a season. It's going to be cleaned. It'll be cleaned tomorrow. It'll be sealed. And I've got Brian from Southpaw. He's a Milwaukee boy. So if you're interested in these services, I'll put it in the description. But he does good work. I've known Brian for, 15 years. He used to detail my cars when he was younger and didn't have a car. So I can tell you from having watched Brian detail cars that he's a detail freak. There isn't something that's good enough. It's always got to be right. So I'll walk around and show you his equipment, his truck. So I'm providing him with water, which is good. And here's his rig. And he's got his own pump, obviously brings his own solutions, does everything. And obviously I've got a lot. I've got 18 acres, so it's not really an issue for me. Now, one of the things about his business is he does it all over the Milwaukee area. So this is the name of his company. He's a good person, honest, straightforward, responsive. Has a nice rig. I think he's been doing this for a year and a half now. He's also branching into Christmas lights. And I thought, well, that is way cool. So just to sidetrack you on the Christmas lights a little bit, which will be up, and I'll have a video of it. Brian will come up with a design, obviously get your approval, come up with a price. Now he buys the lights and then puts them up, takes them down, and stores them for you. So you don't have to keep these lights on your own. It is, like everything that's good, costs money, but that's fine. It's a whole lot easier than trying to put your own lights up and taking them down. So I assume this is a cleaning solution. Haven't asked him. He's also going to be doing the windows. There's nothing like winter time, especially since I face south. And I've got all these south-facing windows to have them both dirty on the inside and the outside. Ah, the sweet smell of cleaning solution. So, Brian, can we talk to you while you're working?
Yeah, we can talk.
So what are you cleaning it with? What are you spraying on it?
Primarily water. There's about 10% that's commercial grade soap or surfactant, and there's about a 1.5% solution mixed in with sodium hypochlorite, which is actually breaking through the organic growth.
Okay.
And all the cobwebs and algae, which this house doesn't have too much of, but all the bird poop and stuff up there, that's the sodium hypochlorite's for.
Okay. And I remember, how long have you been doing this cleaning?
About 6 years. Then Southpaw's been a thing for about 2. So.
That's what I thought. I had it 1.5 years for Southpaw. All right. And then I was mentioning to people that you're starting to branch out into the Christmas lights.
Yes, sir.
You buy them, you design them, you buy them, you store them.
They're all my lights. It's pretty much just offering it as a service. So
okay.
Design, install, maintenance, takedown, and storage is all taken care of by us. And then
that's awesome.
Pretty much the client just gets to enjoy the lights themselves.
And we don't have to get up on a ladder and kill ourselves.
Nothing at all. That's all for us.
Or be harangued by a spouse or a mate or a family member who's going, when are the lights going to go up? And you're going, oh man. Yeah, Brian sent me a computer generated picture of what the design would look like. So that's nice. That's all going to be good. So the whole house, the vinyl siding is going to be cleaned. And obviously I could do it myself. The advantage of having somebody like Brian, who's a professional, is he does it for a living. And the chemicals he gets are really good. They're commercial grade chemicals, not the kind of stuff that you're going to get at a big box store. Not that there's anything wrong with big box store chemicals, but you can tell from the speed and the ease that he's doing it, he's good at it. Imagine if you were out here by yourself doing it, and you'd have to take chemicals, get on a ladder with a brush. Well, Brian just comes with the equipment. He just makes it happen. So not only is it done really, really well with really good chemicals that you and I can't purchase, that are only for the industry, he just does a great job. Oh God, gotta have my gutters cleaned. Oh gosh. Yeah, and also, as you can tell, Brian's a young guy, and so he has the ability to do it with ease. And I keep coming back to the fact he does it for his living. So he doesn't come up to a project and say, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. Before he even arrives, he knows what has to be done. He's already got a plan in his mind. If there's an issue, he's seen it before, he's dealt with the problem before, so nothing's a surprise. He doesn't have to guess if this is the right chemical or the wrong chemical. And because if you do it yourself, you're going to end up in a situation where you're going to say, geez, did I do the right thing? Or have I ruined my gutters? Have I ruined my siding? Brian, Southpaw takes that all away from you. You don't have to worry about that stuff anymore. And given the price and cost of, and the hassle of, let's say, taking a gutter down or having to reinstall siding, it's nice to have somebody who guarantees their work, does a great job, and you don't compromise the house. So that's the reason I'm going with it. And because I know the guy, and he does such a professional job. And that's what matters. I could obviously do it, but I'd probably end up doing a less than adequate job. And the end result would be I'd spend a lot of money on chemicals. I'd spend hours and hours on labor. And I would end up with a job that looked like an amateur had done it. And like anything you own, whether it's a car or something else, motorcycle, you want to take good care of it. A house is no different than that. So I'll be back. So I should tell you what the plan is. Because I was going to clean all the siding, the soffits, the gutters. He also does roofs, the shingles on top if you want. I don't think mine needs to be done. But if Brian says it needs to be done, I'll do it. He is going to do the patio. So he is sort of anticipatory cleaning it because, like I said, we're going to be cleaning off the patio, sealing it. The glass is being done, as I previously mentioned, because have you ever been in a house where suddenly the sun comes through the window and it's just filthy? And then you as the homeowner are trying to solve the problem. Well, Brian, like I said, Brian does it for a living. And there's a sequence of events. Obviously, you don't want to clean the glass, clean this, and then suddenly do the soffits and the siding, because then all the junk comes down on the work you've just done. And it makes a big difference. And although I'm sure the house would survive without having the glass clean, without having the siding clean. Yeah, we all know houses are expensive things. And just taking care of it and making sure that it's good is what pride in home ownership is. And I do have the advantage with Southpaw and Brian. Like we all know that when you hire someone to do the work, there's always that question in your mind. Is this person going to do the job that you want? Are you going to be happy with the work they've done? And I have a leg up on everybody. I know Brian's work. I know his quality. I know his honesty. And those are such important aspects to having a subcontractor come on your property and do the work. Now, I'm obviously here. It's a beautiful day. I think it's like 60 degrees. Told you it's October 20th, 2022. But if I was busy, if I was at work, or I was on vacation, or I had something else to do, I don't have to be here to watch Brian, because Brian is the kind of person who just does good work. I wouldn't come home after being busy all day and somebody going, what the heck happened? What you see with Brian here is what you get, and that's what it's all about. I've had subs come in and do some work, and some of them, frankly, are real disappointments. but the vast majority are like Brian. They do great work. They're conscientious. And he has a philosophy is he treats it as it's a family, friend, or his property. So he doesn't do things that are just good enough or adequate or that'll do. He does it to a very high standard. And it's really wonderful to know someone like him who's willing to do that. And then also it's fun to watch somebody who's good at what they do. And then I'll get to go inside and see how clean the windows are. He's going to do the inside of the windows. He's going to do the screens because obviously the windows are open. Midwest, we've got screens. Screens catch material and junk. And so those will be nice and clean. So for the 5 months of winter or 4 months, when you're looking out the window going, oh God, is it cold? I just hate this. Things will be nice and clean, which will make life cheerier and happier. I'll be back. All right. Front of the house. This is part of the house that faces west. It's around 1 o'clock. We got Brian doing this thing. Boy, is he doing a good job. Now, obviously you're not here, duh. But you can just smell the hint of chlorine, which I described earlier. I should have photographed it earlier. The dirt that was just coming down was intense. And of course, as we all are, we sort of get used to whatever the baseline is. And we get used to the amount of dirt that's on a wall. But when you see someone like Brian clean it up, then you start to appreciate how dirty it is. So he's doing the southwest part of the house. He'll come around and do the other side when he's doing the north side and the east side. But it's a little hard to tell in the video. Oh, but the house is so much cleaner. All the dirt that's collected. As an aside, over there, a little hard to tell, I'll walk over there, try not to get in Brian's way. When they were doing the polymeric sand for the patio here, and if you're not familiar, polymeric sand is this stuff right here, and it's like a sand, and it hardens, and it's what seals these spaces here. Well, I had siding in boxes over here, extra siding, and you can see where the polymeric sand caught underneath the boxes. That's nobody's error or mistake, that's just the way it is. But Brian immediately notices it. He's got a tool, he says, he'll be able to take that right off. And that's the attention to detail that makes the difference between people who are really, really good at what they do and people who just do what they do. So I know I'm talking about how much I like Brian. It is just the way it is. He does great work. Yeah. And like I mentioned earlier, he has a plan for everything on this. Already knows how he's going to do it. Getting over to the patio. This patio is now, this will be its second year. And I didn't realize this, but it pays to clean them and it pays to seal them. You either seal them now, where all the joints are, or as time goes on, this polymeric sand, which is in these joints, will slowly degrade. Water will get in there. You'll start busting things up. The end result is that you'll end up having to redo the patio. And since I have Brian out here doing the cleaning, it just makes sense. Part of the package, baby. So it's looking good. Yeah, I'm very pleased. The nice thing about Brian, one of the many nice things about Brian, is he is a great communicator. He'll tell you what he's doing, when he's doing it. If he's late, he'll tell you he's late. He'll text you. The end result is you as the consumer never have to guess where your contractor is, your subcontractor. Brian just takes care of it. And that's a wonderful quality to have with a subcontractor. His attention to detail, his ability to communicate effectively. If there's a problem, he'll tell you right out of the box. He takes pictures of everything and does videos. one, for promotion, and two, so that you as the consumer can actually see what's happened. And it also, frankly, you know, in today's age and time, it gives him a chance to document that if something was bad before he started, that it was bad not because of him, but because of something else. And that's just the reality. Once again, it is such a gorgeous day. We've had days where I've been in the 40 degrees, a little nippy. But like I said, now it's probably up in the mid 50s, 60s. It is so nice. The sun's out, the sky is blue. Yeah, it's looking good. It's a gorgeous day. I spent time walking around the property this morning. Yeah, it's nice having 18 acres and just deciding that you're going to go for a little walk. I forget how much I enjoy it until I've actually done it. You can obviously see that the leaves are changing. Probably about 55-60% of leaf change color. Many of them dropped here. But it's a wonderful day. It's wonderful to have Brian doing the work. So I'll be back.